make sense. Come on, make it, baby. Make it make sense. Come on, make it, make
What's good? What's good, y'all? Let's Make Sense of It podcast. We are back for another week. And like we always say, Ash,
the truth that y'all motherfuckers don't want, but you need.
make sure, I definitely need. I go by the Bull Vance.
I'm Ash.
We are back again. And like always, make sure y'all follow us on Instagram. Let's Make Sense of It podcast. Let's Make Sense of It underscore. Let's Make Sense of It underscore. Make sure y'all follow us. Make sure y'all share, like, and subscribe on YouTube. Just type in Let's Make Sense of It podcast. Type in Let's Make Sense of It. It'll pop up. You know, that's just we just a brand like that. It's there. If you're listening to us on all your listening platforms, make sure y'all subscribe, leave a rating, leave a review. You know, tell us about ourselves.
Don't be ignorant.
Yeah, don't be ignorant.
If you don't like it, you know how they say if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it. Use that.
Use that. So we are back again. First of all, happy Black History Month.
Period.
It's Black History Month. You know, they give us the shortest month, but you know, at least they give us something.
It's all right.
You know what I'm saying?
I at work with all white people.
You come in doing all black shit all week. All right, so this week the theme of the show is being raised on love versus being raised on survival. Now, let's start off there. We're gonna start this way. Being raised on love versus being raised on survival when it comes to dating / relationships. Let's start there.
You start.
All right, so because when it comes to dating, somebody who's raised on love has a certain, which I would say, affection towards another person. Like they're in a relationship, they know how to care for somebody pretty much. When you raised on survival, it's kind of like you just gotta do what you gotta do. Like it's like, all right, we would seriously, because some people come up that way and they don't even know how to show love because like they was raised on survival. When you raised on survival, that means your parents or whoever was around you, they might have loved you, but they might not have shown it per se. It was more as though they were out working and basically y'all just had to survive pretty much. Like everybody wasn't raised on love. Let's start there. Let's start that way. Everybody wasn't raised on love, so a lot of people go around not knowing how to show love or give out love. Right. They were just raised on, I just got to survive. I got to get to the next day.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, if you raised on love, then you have a certain quality in all your relationships, even if it's friendship. It doesn't have to particularly be romantic. You just have a certain quality of caring, consoling, and communicating with somebody. Like you don't anger as quickly as somebody else, or you show more compassion. Right. I would say, and empathy. And then somebody raised on survival is kind of just like, I just need to provide. Right. That's like, if you like in a family, if the dad is constantly at work and but he's providing for the family, like everything is taken care of. Right. And then when you grow old, when he, gets older and his kids get older, he's wondering why, he's not as close to his kids. Mm-hmm. Now that he's like settling down for work or he's retiring or whatever the case may be. He's wondering why he's not, close to his kids.
My bad, I'm sorry.
Close to his kids and everything like that. And then it comes down to your kids also need attention. Mm-hmm. They also need love. And as well as they need you to provide and protect them and everything like that. Now, every circumstance is different because every family dynamic will be different. Every relationship dynamic is different. Every friendship dynamic is different. All right. So, I mean, sometimes you can't provide those things. But you can't, the outcome of that is just that you distant from a lot of people.
Right, because I know sometimes this is a big thing. I always see females say it's hard to date a guy that was raised off of survival because he doesn't really have those skills to really show her love. Yeah. It's almost like like you just said, he's distant. He comes off maybe too hard sometimes, or too like just got this shell up. Mm-hmm. I just got to make it happen.
Yeah. He'd be the type of nigga that if you ask for something, he's gonna get it for you. Right. Like that you probably never want for anything, but when you want them moments to just like sit on the couch and cuddle, or like you want to, go on a date night, or you want to do like cute shit, or just like simple shit, he probably doesn't give you that he's gonna do that.
Or he probably doesn't know how to go about it either, because he never seen that. Not even just men, females too, because it's a lot of people that come up in those households where they didn't have nobody show them how to love or how to be loved. Everybody wasn't loved.
You had to get from sunrise to sunset.
Right.
That's all, and that's all, and that's it. And anything in between, if it wasn't about survival, it didn't matter.
Right.
It wasn't of value. So
they had that parent that was out there that just had any means necessary. It's still people that come up like that nowadays. Like the parent that just can't be. They're trying to make a better life for their kid, but they're just never around their kid.
Yeah.
They have to work the 2-3 jobs, and they might not never see the kid. They might not never make it to the parent teacher conferences. They might not never even get a chance to even see them. By the time they get to see their kid graduate, they didn't miss all of the years up to that. Mm-hmm. They didn't see that.
And it's like those parents is just, you can't, I don't know. You're trying so hard to make sure that your child doesn't have the same childhood or lifestyle as you, that you're working so hard to make sure that they don't have it, but you're taking something else away from them.
Right.
Trying to give them all these things. And it's just like, you can do that without breaking yourself.
Right.
Now, if you're a single mother or a single father, you have multiple kids you got to provide for. There's certain things that you can do and you can't do, because your time will be spared. Because a priority to that is that you have to provide for them.
Right.
But there are those parents out there who are the only providers, and they also do show their kids love. Mm-hmm. So their kids don't want for anything, they don't need for anything, and anything outside of it is probably just extra or materialistic. But everything that they should have, knowing that somebody's there to support them, knowing they have somebody to go to and have a shoulder to cry on, laugh with, or talk to,
right? That's
gonna be just as important as putting a roof over their head, giving them hot water, and giving them a meal.
Right. Because some kids, even through it all, they'll grow up and they'll be great people, but somewhere along the line, they will always feel like they were neglected, or they will feel like how would I say, like if they start a family,
right?
Now they don't know how to kind of show their love to their kids. Actually, that's one, raising kids off of love versus raising them off of survival. It's kind of along the lines of what we just said. When you start raising your own kids, it's like, all right, you're going to raise them pretty much up how you were raised.
Basically, and if you were raised on the shitty side of the spectrum, then you're going to try to raise them better.
Like if you was just raised automatically, just I'm gonna go get a belt all the time, instead of just, because you can't. I know a lot of us came up that way back in the day. We all came up, off the belt per se. But these kids nowadays, I think they're so, I shouldn't say smarter, but they come off like a little smarter than we were back as kids, because they're exposed to so much more nowadays. Mm-hmm. So I feel like you can have a conversation with kids, even if they're younger, without automatically, you could discipline a kid without automatically going to the extremes nowadays. Yeah. I think if you start off early with that type of discipline, because sometimes people think it's cute. They just let the kid at 1-2 years old cursing. It's like, oh, he's just a baby, and then that baby turned 5, and now he's still cursing at kindergarten. Now you can't control him.
Mm-hmm. Now you can call to school every week, and you wonder why your child always in detention, because he calling his teacher a bitch, or the little girl that keeps stealing his toy. Mm-hmm. something wrong,
right? Because
something that goes into being raised off survival is like when you hear a lot of people say like, well, we was raised in the hood, or we was raised, down the bottom. Like people that were raised in like, either projects, or they were just raised in like a lot of low income areas. And
right.
and they automatically go to, well, I was raised in this hood, or I was raised in this neighborhood, so this is just how we came up. And it's just like, because you were raised in it, and a lot of people will say, oh, you become a product of your environment and everything like that. But everybody's household in that same neighborhood wasn't like that.
True, because you could have it could be the kids down the street. They might have been running the streets, and the mom might not care, or the mom might care, but the mom can't do much because she's never around, because she's working to provide for the kid, and the kid might get lost in the streets. But then you have the mom that's on top of everything.
But she just in that neighborhood because that's just what she can afford, or maybe she's comfortable in that neighborhood, but she feels as though she can raise her kids to be better than their environment.
Right.
So that's another thing we got to stop using. You can't. Sometimes you're not always going to be a product of your environment.
Right.
You can kind of get yourself out of that to a certain extent. Some people can, some people can't. I do understand that every situation is different, but still, some of y'all don't even try. It is automatically y'all just go with whatever the way is blowing around you, and that's it.
And that's just kind of You gotta break that generational curse, as we say. there's a lot of generational curses when it comes to the black community, and that's probably one of them. Just automatically just saying, "Oh, I'm a product of my environment," which is true. I mean, I understand that. We all understand that. You just kind of, when you're surrounded by so many things, you just kind of, it's like kids in certain parts of neighborhoods or certain parts of the city in different neighborhoods. They're kind of exposed to different things. You got a kid that might be exposed to shooting or something. You might have a kid that's exposed to walking past a drug user or a kid walking past a drug dealer, and it's like, as a kid, you just like, all right, like, what do you do as a kid? You just trying to get to school, but you see that stuff all the time. So in your mind, you like, this must be the way how life's supposed to be. Because some kids, even some people to this day, have never been outside of their neighborhood. They never traveled. They never been out the state. The farthest maybe they probably been out the state, maybe Jersey, Delaware or something. They never really been on a plane to even get to see that it's more to life than just your four corners in your hood. And that's the sad part. Kids just grow up their whole life, and all they know is the city. That's all they know, or not even they only probably know the city, because some of them probably never even been downtown.
Child.
They only know their particular neighborhood, and that's crazy to think about it. But it's the truth.
I know grown people who still don't know how to get around Philadelphia, so I know that is a definite truth when they don't go to certain parts of the city. Like if I would have never see myself in Southwest if I didn't get an apartment down there.
Right.
I would have never seen myself in South Philly if I didn't have a house down there.
Right.
Like I would have saw myself in North Philly because I know the neighborhood, so it's perfectly fine. But y'all, some of y'all just don't. Y'all don't go out of y'all four corners, and that's it.
And that's pretty wild, man. Listen, it's always good to travel. I think some kids, if you can, or some parents, if you can, make sure you take your kids to travel, so they can see. Even if you stuck in your ways, you know, older people, they get stuck in their ways, and it's like, all right, even if you're stuck in your ways, take that kid somewhere. Just take them to see the different faces.
Show them what life is like outside of their own city. Show them like the opportunities that they have that they can get to. You don't like, it is not always like automatically pushing college and everything like that. Sometimes they might want to do something different. So push them to see what else is out there.
Right. Now, when it comes to making friends,
you kind of, if you raised on survival, you're more so like if you have friends and then like y'all have a falling out, it's just like it is what it is.
Right.
Like, you know, friends come every day, be like, it is what it is. I don't give a fuck. And y'all could have had a solid like relationship. It could have been something that y'all could have solved very easily. Correct. But because you're not pressed about that relationship, because you only trying to either like get to a bag or you just trying to make it through like each day, you don't care about that friendship.
Detached.
Yeah.
Detached is what I would say. Detached. That's another thing when it comes to that being raised off of survival. You're easily detached. Like, right. You can easily detach from stuff. It's like, all right, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and just go on to the next thing. So making friends is like, all right, that was cool and all, but I'm gonna holler at you. But
it is what it is. Like, y'all could have had a simple disagreement, and you just didn't like the fact that they didn't agree with you. So now y'all just not friends because I would call it like emotionally unavailable. Yeah, that's
somebody that was raised off survival. That's somebody that didn't have nobody around to tell them like, oh, it's okay. People had disagreements. You might not always agree with somebody, but at the end of the day, if that's your people, you know, you should show that love to them. You should have a conversation with them like, all right, we better than this. It's just something small,
right?
Like, sometimes you gotta ask the right questions too when it comes to like trying to talk to people and trying to figure out why y'all had the disagreement. You be like, you need to start these conversations of like, where was your mental space? Where was you at mentally that particular day that we got into this particular disagreement and it turned into just us not talking no more?
Right. And if you're raised on love, you kind of want to know what happened.
Right.
More so like you ask some questions. You might pursue it. Like if it was a solid friendship and you know it was a good one that you felt it was good on both ends, like you didn't feel like you were giving more than that person, then you want to know like, well, what the fuck happened? And I don't believe in people saying like, oh, well, nobody owes you an explanation or something like that. Like, that's rude. Like, as well as nobody owing you an explanation, that's certain aspects, that's certain things. But if y'all were friends and y'all shared, like, moments together, y'all went through life together in certain aspects, like, yeah, you owe me a fucking explanation on what the fuck is going on. Now, that only goes if you know you did nothing wrong.
Right.
Now, this is not for the motherfuckers that do shit wrong and have a pattern of doing shit wrong and you wonder why this person is no longer talking to you. They tired of your shit. They spoke to you one time about it and they're not going to keep speaking to you again because they're not your parent. They're your friend. So now it's just like, now you on mute and you block because I don't want to talk to you no more.
Yeah. But if it's like something like you said, if you didn't do anything that you know of, I mean, everybody knows if they did something or not. But if you didn't do anything, or you didn't do anything intentionally, like to it's doing stuff and then it's doing stuff unintentionally. Like you might have did something, not even realizing it. Like you could be having a conversation or be talking to somebody, and your voice or your tone might come off different. But to you, it's just like I'm just having a conversation. I'm being more animated. Right. I know sometimes I like that. I'll have a conversation with my girl, and it would be like talking, but I might come off a little louder. But I'm not, or it might come off like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm really not being sarcastic. I'm really just trying to get my point across.
I can understand that because I'd be like, the fuck is your problem? Like, was that sarcasm? Like, we having a serious conversation, you want to throw out sarcasm? Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
You like, I'm not giving sarcasm. I'm just telling you, get my point across.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like listen, you gotta have that conversation. And if that person don't want to talk, then it's like, all right. They kind of just like, all right.
You kind of leave it at that, but it's just like, that's like a sucky thing to do. And as an adult,
you lose good people that way.
As adults, and y'all done been through childhood friendships, y'all done been through college friendships, high school, whatever the case may be, work relationships. You done been through a lot of different friendships on different age groups and different different levels of your life. So you would take something from each of those experiences to learn, like, okay, this is how I handle the situation. This is how I'm not going to handle the situation. Right. Because it's just like, come on now. Just have a conversation. Just be like, I don't fuck with you no more. That's it.
Yeah, that's all you got to say. Keep it cordial. Now, mommy daddy issues. Because I think it's a guy and it's a female thing, because we always talk about the
daddy issues.
Yeah, we always talk about daddy issues, but it's a lot of mommy issues too. Right. Everybody didn't have that mom that was showing that love and affection that they thought they should be showed, and that's part of the reason why some men don't know how to deal with a female, because they didn't have that love from their mom. Right. It was, and just like some females don't know how to deal with a man because they never had. The sad part is it's a lot more females that didn't have a father figure around than it is a lot more males that didn't have a mother around. And that's the sad part. And I think sometimes females act a certain way, I should say, towards a man, because they never had that male figure in their life. So it's like, all right, fuck them. I don't need a man for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah,
I need a man for nothing.
Cause I had daddy issues. It was just like, he was around, but he wasn't around. Like, it was just a lot of moments that he was missing for. So, and I didn't feel like he gave me the same attention that he gave my brother, who was like a year older than me, but whatever. And it's just like, you don't know those things affect you. Besides, like, the normal effects, you're like, well, damn, like, why you not around? You don't know how they actually, like, really affect, like, your personality, your outlook on life, how you treat people in relationships, specifically men or boys when you're younger. But when you get older and you're going through your relationship, you wondering, like, why they not working out, or why you keep falling for the same type of guy. Right. And, like, what's going on. And sometimes you got to take a step back and, like, follow your patterns and see, like, well, why did I have 3 relationships with the same type of nigga? Right. And why did all those relationships fail? And it's just like, what issues are you leaving unresolved between you and your parental figure? If it's your dad, then either you need to talk to him or you need to talk to somebody about it. Right.
Because listen, a father would know, because 90% of the time the father was there. The father was there. Right. So and another thing, a female having a good father that's there for them, they can that dad will give that female a certain type of confidence when it comes to dealing with men. Right. Because it's like, all right, my dad already warned me. He already told me what it's going to be, how a dude's going to approach me. Yeah. When you got it's just like if you got a brother or sister, like, it's the same thing. They give you they kind of tell you what it is. You're never going to get more honesty than you can get from a sibling.
And it kind of works out, even if, like, your dad not around, but if you have, like, if you have uncles or, like, older cousins who you really close to, you're around a lot, they kind of give you the game too, and they kind of stand in for that father figure, so it helps you out. But if you ain't really got none of that, and you around a bunch of women as a female, it's just like we all can go in the 5 emotions. Now, on the other hand, if you got mommy issues,
that too. But before we get to the mommy issues, some chicks think how do I put this? They think their dad is so perfect, but they know that their dad is just like the niggas that they dealing with.
That be the kicker. When you so wrapped around your dad's finger and you don't see that the exact nigga that he is the exact nigga that you go
That
for.
you would attach.
And you wondering, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why? Like this, like, you know, like you and this nigga just y'all going through hell and high water, and you wondering, like, yo, like, I see so much of my dad in him, and I don't understand what's going on. That's because you don't see your dad for what he is. Like, you don't see him for everything that he is. You just see him for what he reveals to you.
Because on one hand, a chick could say, man, this nigga ain't shit. He doing X, Y, Z. While on the other hand, talking about their dad that used to do X, Y, Z and still is doing X, Y, Z. So your dad is doing the same exact thing that your dad is doing the same exact thing that this man that you dating is doing to you right now. But you love your dad to death. Listen, you love him to death, as you should.
Daddy does no wrong.
But this man that you're dealing with, you can't. It's just like, all right, fuck him. It's like, fuck him. I can't deal with him. I'm going to the next. Because some people say, oh, I want somebody. Like a female say, I want somebody that's like my dad that cared for me. But your dad was kind of, he was a Rolling Stone, as they would say.
Child, just want somebody to actually just care about you. Don't want them to be like somebody else. Because even if your dad, like, gave you the world, he protected you, provided for you, like, he's your 8-spoon coon, like, y'all close as shit. Your dad, he got some dark secrets too. Mm-hmm. He got some shit about him that's not perfect and everything like that. So I wouldn't aspire for somebody to be like my dad. Like, I don't know. Like, if y'all, then that changes for like 2-parent households. Mm-hmm. And you grew up like with your mom and dad married, and they really had it. Like, you might have seen them go through some things together, but they have a really solid relationship. Yeah. Now, that's something I'll be like, you know what? I want a solid relationship.
Right. You don't care about
everything.
Y'all went through, you don't care about all this shit.
I want a solid relationship because that means that their foundation is strong enough to go through whatever they went through.
Right.
I'm not.
We're not saying cheating.
Please,
that is not a
struggle. That is really not highs and lows of a relationship. Cheating is a choice that somebody makes in the relationship to step out on you. Yeah. And they choose in that moment over your relationship. That is not a high and low. A high and low is like health issues,
financial
issues, job, stuff like that. Cheating, not a high and low.
But some people go like, no, because a lot of these older people, they had these long time relationships, and a lot of people want to get there, but somewhere along the line they think that some people think highs and lows means cheating pretty much.
No, who told
to some people? I don't know. To some people, that's what it is.
No, high and low, like he wants.
All right, maybe. All right, let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. All right, not serial cheating. Let's put it that way. Like, all right, maybe one of them older people, they might have stepped out one time. You know what I'm saying? They might have had it.
You talking about them older people that stepped out?
They might have had an affair.
Families.
They might have had an affair.
An affair.
That's a big low.
We're getting real.
They might have had an affair.
An affair is equivalent to a side chick.
They might have had an affair.
Well, a side relationship.
They had a whole nother. Listen, I mean, these older people, had a whole another family back then.
A lot of them
might have had an affair, and
was living right around the corner. You was only a couple feet away from your sisters and brothers. And
it's still some people that's dealing with shit like that.
People, you'll be like, well, how many brothers and sisters you got? Well, my mom only got 3, but my dad got about like 14. Well, damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, where did the 14 come from?
Exactly.
Your mom and dad been together for like 30 years. Where did the 14 kids come from?
And listen, speaking of moms, over to the mommy issues, because we're not just gonna skip over the mommy issues too. There's a lot of males that
have mommy issues,
and now they don't know how to treat a female.
And they do not talk about it.
They do not talk about it at all. And that's the. I think. How do I put this? I think a lot of guys who had mommy issues, they turn into womanizers because they don't know how to get that affection or that love from a particular female figure like that. They didn't have any mom there.
Well, yeah, some of them do. Then some of them turn into like, some of them just don't know how to receive love either.
Yeah, or show it.
So if you got a guy that, he's so used to running through females, like he running through them like pages in a book, it don't even matter. And then he meets one female that he's just like, well, maybe I can't do the same thing. Or she just bring something else out of him, and now it reveals what your issue is. Like, okay, now we knowing that your mom didn't do this for you, or she didn't show you this.
Right.
So me showing you that is just like that's not normal to you. Mm-hmm. And it's just like now I gotta break down all these walls and chains because simple things that I was raised on is not normal to you.
Just like mommy issues when it comes to females. Now that is one of the biggest overlooks because we always say females daddy issues, dudes mommy issues, but we never get into the daughters that had mommy issues, and now they don't even know how to even receive no type of love from a man if it ain't got money attached to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much so. It's just like your mom was constantly telling you, like, you know, get a nigga for whatever he got and make sure your bills is paid and make sure you're doing this and da-da-da. And they be the same mothers that be basically condoning him to cheat as long as you doing what you got to do, as long as he doing what he got to do for you.
Is he taking
Don't
care
bother him. Is he taking care of you? Like, Mom, you and that nigga can kick rocks. Like, who the fuck? Like, what sense does that make to tell your child that?
Right.
Like, you should be telling your child, like, make sure if you with a man long term, y'all living together, y'all sharing a household together, or whatever the case may be, or even if he constantly spending weeks at your damn house, he gonna pay for something.
Right.
Like, if y'all in the relationship long term, then it's like, okay, like, make sure he's putting a part into that. That makes perfect sense. Because why would you let somebody move in with you and they're not paying nothing?
Right. Not just the guy that's coming through. He paid for something. He there for a couple months and then he's gone. Then you on to the next. Then you on to the next. Because that's the sad part. A lot of females seen their mom doing such sad things, or they heard their mom doing such things. Like, the mom say, oh, he just come and drop some money off. Blah blah blah. They might hear their mom having sex. You never know. Like,
that's nasty.
when you're younger, listen. When you
now this is if your mom is single. If your mom is single and she, you know, she's living her grown life, she doing whatever she got to do, and she decides to have a roster of niggas that do different shit
different.
for her, that's perfectly fine.
That's her house, by the way.
But, yeah, it's her house.
house.
You still living in it. But that shouldn't be a main topic that she's given to you to have. Like, she shouldn't be saying you should make sure you have a roster of niggas. She should be telling you, like, if you dating multiple people, that's fine. You know, until you figure out which guy you want to settle down with or when you're ready to settle down.
Right.
But you don't have to get something out of every single last one of them.
And that's the problem. That it'll be some moms, they say, oh, you got to get that nigga for everything he got.
Yeah.
You got to, you sleeping with him, you better make sure you get some money out of him.
Like, what if you just, like, Mom, what if I just enjoyed fucking this nigga? Like,
Right.
I don't really want
you can't
too
be
much.
out.
Once too much, like, from time to time, he'll call me and be like, yo, you want something to eat before I come through? Like, that's perfectly fine. Like, I don't want anything from this man. Like, I just enjoy either his company or I enjoy fucking him. That's it and that's all.
Some moms will say, don't deal with that. Don't deal with that nigga if he not paying. Don't sleep with that nigga if he not paying.
Like, if you want your daughter to be a prostitute, Mom, do this.
Pretty much.
If you want to, like, put her, you know, when Backpage was a thing, if you want to put her out there to the highest bidder,
But
that's perfectly fine.
That's the crazy part. Some of these moms so young, they party. So some of these moms are so young that they're partying with their daughters, and they're trying to keep up with their daughters because they didn't have a childhood. They was too busy raising, they was raising her. Now they clubbing. Now,
like, we can go out. Now I ain't about to. Hey, yo, Steph, you want to go with me to the like? No,
now they clubbing. Now they clubbing together. So you
wearing the same outfit.
Yeah, y'all in clubs together. How y'all in clubs together? That's anything. Man, y'all just in clubs together. Oh, this is my daughter.
I'm not hyping my mom up twerking. Like, I'm not doing that.
Like, what is we doing?
I don't want to do that. Like, if you dancing, that's perfectly fine. I ain't about to hype you up twerking. No, not doing that. And then we got the other side of mommy issues when it comes to the ones that are like jealous of their daughters.
Yeah, because their daughter because they're doing better than they was. They don't have kids. Listen, it could be because they don't have kids. Like, it's always say, oh, it runs in the family. No, how about they don't have kids and they working on their life?
Yeah, like,
now you mad.
You were mad because you were stuck with 3 kids by the age of 25 or something, and now your daughter, whether it's the youngest or the oldest, usually the oldest, whether she's out here like she's just living her best life, like she's going out, she don't have kids, she has her own money, she working on getting her own space or her own car, whatever the case may be, she's aspiring to do more things, and kids is like the last thing on her mind. She doesn't really have problems with guys, and then you have these mothers who are competing with your child. Like, that's your child.
That's when
you should be so happy that she is like out here living her best life and out of trouble, out of the way, and like you don't have a worry in the world. Like you go to sleep at night and you're perfectly fine. Not like you worry like basic shit, but you're not sitting there like, damn, I'm like, she done dropped these kids off again with my ass, and she out here doing this. Like you ain't gotta worry about that.
But you know that's when you get the mom that'll say, when you gonna have some grandbabies? They ready for some. They ready for some grandbabies. He's like, all right, you got some babies sometimes.
You ready for some babies? Here you go.
Babies too, not one. They always hit you with the grandbabies.
Here you go. You want to tell me that you don't want babies? No, you wanted the grandbabies. Here you go. Absolutely. I'm going out. Bye. We're
going to get back to that. But right now is our 2 cent segment. Make sure y'all hit that line, 267-648-7208. You see it right here at the bottom of the screen. So make sure y'all hit that line, man. Still ain't nobody call? Still ain't no call? Okay. We just going to have to keep. Now, I got a good one today.
He going to keep talking to y'all about it.
We're going to keep telling y'all. Like I said, because by then it's going to be gone. We just going to have a segment at that point. At that point, it's just a segment. At that point, it's just a segment, right?
You're going to be trying to get your little topic on here, and it's going to be down the line.
Uh-huh. Ain't going to know. We're going to be big time. Like, damn, they don't even take my DMs no more. No, we died.
No, thank you.
So, now this is wild, right? So... It say my dying wife asked me if I'd be okay if she had sex with her ex one last time. Right now, listen to this. This is what happened. So,
wait, hold on. You said my dying wife.
His dying wife asked him if it'd be okay if she had sex with her ex one last time. Okay. Now, listen, I'm gonna give you the story. So, it say my wife has a terminal disease. She is projected to live at most 9 months. Now he says he's destroyed. You know, they've been together for a decade. Now it says the doctor said that she was likely to need a wheelchair in 4 or 5 months. Then by 8 months she'll be bedridden for the last few weeks. This if she doesn't decline faster. Now she says, he said recently she sat me down and told me that one of the last things she wanted to do was have sex with a previous partner of hers. I of course was shocked, and when I asked her why the fuck she wants that. Or he asked her why the fuck she wants that. So basically she thinks that her most physically compatible, satisfying lover was the ex. Yo, this shit is crazy, right? She gave him a whole monologue about how sex sometimes is just physical and how emotionally fulfilling sex is with me, but it was bullshit to get to that point. God damn, she just getting right on it, right? So it says, so now I'm left with this: deny my denying wife a wish for my own ego, or let her go fuck another man who she feels was better. Honestly, I'm so pissed off and betrayed that she asked this to me. I feel like I'm put in a position where I have to say yes because she's dying. I know what I want to say, but I don't know if it's if that's right. I'm so hurt that sex with an ex was apparently so good that she needs to do it one last time before she dies. Now, first of all, that's probably one of the craziest fucking things I've ever seen in my life.
Wow, she really said to this man. Basically, that nigga she been with this man for a decade.
A decade.
A
fucking decade.
So the whole time of that decade while they was fucking, she was thinking about that other nigga that was better than her, that was better than him.
That is some of the most disrespectful shit.
I would tell her no, and I'm leave her ass in the hospital. How about that?
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. Yo, like, first of all,
bedridden, hospice, whatever. You gonna stay right the fuck there. That shit dying, like your dying wish couldn't be to go to Disney World.
Yeah.
Couldn't be to go to Hawaii or some shit. Like your dying wish is to sit on another nigga dick. Like how many times is you gonna be wanting to fuck this nigga between your 4 months before you gotta get in the wheelchair? Even if you're in a wheelchair, you can still be fucking him.
Yo, this is crazy. First of all, it's a lot going there. If you the guy, you just got hit with. First of all, I'm petty as shit. I ain't gonna hold you. I cut the little water bag. You know the water jar at the beginning. She be dehydrated to the motherfucker. You kidding me?
He trying to kill her.
Oh yeah, you want dog? Okay, you gonna be cotton mouth like a motherfucker. You got me fucked up out here. What you mean? Now all of a sudden you wanna have sex with your ex one last time? That shit dying wish. That shit dying wish. All the shit I done did, that shit fucking you hit me with no, fuck that. You hit me with a terminal. You got a terminal disease, right? You could be dying from cancer. You could be dying from anything. I'm all heartbroken and shit. I'm all sad and shit. I know. Now I got to plan her funeral. I should be heartbroken.
She probably was like, babe, you know what I really want as my dying wish? I just want to fuck Jerome one more time.
Like, how did like, how does she even say that?
What?
That's anything. Like, how do you even go about saying that?
Out of all fucking things, like she could have asked for anything in the world, and for the last moments of her life, and she got like, what is it? It was like 8
She
months.
had like 8 months left to live, and that was the first thing she said. One last time.
That's not gonna
Like, is this right before you die? Is this like tomorrow? Like, what's one last time? You want to do it before you in the
Like,
wheelchair?
what if this nigga married? How you gonna ask his wife could he fuck you one last time? Like, how are we going about? Like, sis, did you think this through?
Man, listen, that's the ultimate. I hit that little stop button right now. Nope, time to go. That shit is.
I'll be like, you know what? This must be the shock that you're dying because I'm awake.
It gotta be. I'm blaming it on the
Because
meds.
ain't no fucking way you just said that to my face.
I'm trying to figure out what's in this med. Like, what's in these meds that made you say this? And you just found out, so that means you still in somewhat of a good condition that you know what the fuck's going on. Like, it might be terminal, but you just found out. And when did this cross your mind that this was your last wish? Like, when the fuck did this cross your mind? Like, seriously, like when the fuck did this cross your mind? Like, there is any and everything.
Like, I feel some way about everything that's in there. Like, so you telling me? So this is a couple points that I feel some way about.
Oh my God,
you dying first of all. Right, you got 8 months to live, so that makes me feel even more bad that you're about to leave. I've been with you for a decade, so that means I still love you if I'm heartbroken about it, right? Okay, then the part that you telling me that you want to have sex with your ex, and then when I ask you why you want to have sex with your ex one last time, you then telling me that he was basically better at sex than I am. So bitch, you been fucking me for how long, and now you want to go fuck this nigga? One last time bullshit. You gonna want to fuck him multiple times after that one last time. And did you think it through? Because do you know where this nigga is at now that you want to fuck him? Because that means you still in contact.
You probably was in contact. Yeah, you still was in contact.
You still in contact with this nigga.
You still in contact
and you know
with
that
him.
He's single and he probably in close vicinity that you can get to his ass. Because what you gonna fly out just to give him some terminally ill pussy? You know what?
She probably already called. You know what?
I would have
some
cursed
terminally.
her out.
You died.
So
You died. Some terminally ill pussy. You died.
So bad. I would have been so mad. Like she would have
Oh
been.
my God, yo.
She would have been in that hospital hyperventilating and crying. Like she probably would have crashed at that moment because it
I
was.
wish. Listen, niggas couldn't even remotely even think about saying that if we had we'd have been dead that moment. At that fucking very moment. What?
His health declined real fast.
It wouldn't have been. All the machines would have been shut off. Like, damn, we didn't even hear a beep. We didn't even hear nothing. Everything just shut the fuck off.
Man, what happened? I don't know. I was talking
It'd have been
to
like
him 1 minute.
It would have been. He'd be like what was it? Diary Mag Black Woman when the bull was in the wheelchair and she pushed him into the she pushed him into the tub.
He needed a bath. Remember
Oh my
he was
God!
sitting in that room for days. He stunk. He needed a little bath.
Jesus Christ! Man, karma is a motherfucker. Because you know what would happen? The karma would kick in. And she fucking around. The doctor say, "Oh, you were 100% healed." Now that'll fuck the whole situation up. Oh, you thought you was dying.
Oh, honey, you thought you was dying. Now you got another disease.
Now you gotta live.
Now you got herpes.
Damn.
You gotta live single with herpes.
You gotta go to the. What'd you say last time? The group. You gotta go to the fucking group.
Like,
oh my God, man! Listen, man. That's messy, man. Make sure I hit the 2 sis line, man. Listen, this could be you. Some of y'all might have this story.
I can't believe
y'all might listen. Some of y'all might. This might have been one of y'all stories. Who knows?
If that was somebody's story, if like that was a real story.
We need that to be like that all the time. Like that's the one right there. Like that's anything. Like we need them type of stories.
It was horrible.
God damn, shit. All right, well, make sure y'all hit that line, man. Now, back to
y'all surviving.
love of a survivor. Now this is a good one right here. Now, affecting the mental health when it comes to love versus survival, especially when it comes to especially when it comes to black men specifically, because I seen a post. I had it, but I can't find it. It was the post that said y'all made fun of Kanye when he was doing stuff with Kim. Y'all made fun of Will Smith when Jada Pinkett had an open thing. And y'all made fun of who was the third person?
It was Kanye.
Tyrese. Oh, y'all made fun of Tyrese when he was having a breakdown. But y'all expect men to want to open up when we do. Y'all turn it into shit like this.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that's just black people in general. They just laugh at pain.
True.
I mean, now everybody's so big on like mental health and everything like that. But for years, nobody was talking about nobody going to therapy. It was just like you went to church.
Yeah.
They were pushing you to go to church, pray about it.
We're gonna pray about it.
And then, just leave it all up to God. But come on now, faith without work is dead. You can't just go in there in the church and pray about it and then not do the work to actually get through with it.
Right.
Like that doesn't make sense. So now everybody's big on like mental health matters and but it's kind of late.
Yeah.
It's kind of late because it takes so much just to get, especially a black man, to get him to open up about his fears or to open up about his past or something that might have happened to him. Because now his outlook on life is that he has to bury that, whatever it is, and not talk about it. Because it's better. Because he don't want nobody laughing at him and he don't want nobody judging him.
Yeah, because I seen it was a post earlier that said, what was the post? I forget what it said. I'll find it in a second. But yeah, when it comes to the men's mental health, when that particular man was raised off of just surviving, like we got to, my family and everything, we got to survive. We got to get to the next day. Like we got to get any means necessary. And then that's sometimes when that man goes out, he might start selling drugs. He might start robbing people. He might start doing whatever he got to do because he just got to survive. Like I got to survive.
Right.
So that love part of that mental health shit, nobody thinks about that shit. Nobody thinks about the effects that sometimes black men go through. Like black men go through a lot that sometimes we don't, because when you figure you got sometimes you got the female going against you.
Right.
Oh, you always hearing niggas ain't shit. Which, sometimes it might be true, but a nigga, if you constantly keep telling somebody you stupid, you dumb, you stupid, they automatically, that shit's gonna eventually start draining on them. Right. You got that. Then you gotta deal with the police. You gotta deal with that shit. You could just be riding just regular, but you never know, you might come across the wrong cop, whatever. You gotta worry about that. They might be a racist.
Yeah.
Then you gotta deal with your own niggas hating on you. Right. Like in your own community. Like you can't, the hardest thing is to be a successful black man, and you can't, once you become successful, you gotta move. Like you can't, as much as you wanna do for your neighborhood, and some people can get away with it, because some people, the older people, they got a way about coming off of, but like when you get like really successful, sometimes the best way to do is you gotta leave. It don't matter how good or giving you are to a certain community, it's always gonna be somebody that's gonna wanna hate you. Yeah,
because you doing exactly what they either wanted to do, or they know either they probably, or they couldn't do.
Yeah, and they feel like that's where I should have been. Like they see something in you that was in them, but you maximized the opportunity that you had, that they had, and they didn't. Right. So now they're like, fuck you. You think you're better than me. I'm just going to take, which is weird. Like you could have, just look at some of the celebrities. Like look at Nip. He made a whole plaza for his whole neighborhood. He was looking out for his neighborhood. Got killed in his neighborhood. Look at Young Dolph in Memphis. Just taking care of his own neighborhood. He was at a black owned business, black owned cookie spot. Got killed in his own city, and it's sad. You always get killed in your own city, and that's the fucked up part.
Yeah, your city will be the one to bring you up and bring you the fuck down at the same time.
It's crazy because like people love seeing people on the come up. They're like, oh, you on the come up? They be rooting for you, but then you get to a certain level, and they like, oh, I'm tired of you. Like I'm tired of this motherfucker. Or what's the one? Big Time. You got Big Time. He don't come back to the hood. Why?
Listen, y'all ain't.
Your goal is to get out the hood.
Y'all want somebody to get millions of dollars and reinvest in the neighborhoods, reinvest in like low income black communities and all that type of stuff. But none of y'all want to do it either.
No.
None of y'all want to do it either. And you can say like, well, I ain't got the money to do it, but it's so many different ways that you can make change and do something, and you don't want to do it. You waiting for somebody else to do it. Right. And then if they're not doing enough, now you mad.
And that's why I respect. That's why I respect Meek.
Fucking saw it.
Yes.
Yes. You ain't gotta like her fucking food. That's perfectly fucking fine. I don't. But the lady out here, she do Christmas for the kids. She do prom. She do giveaways for kids that's doing good in school. Everything like that. And y'all was out there stealing from them kids when they got their stuff. Like, that's stupid.
How y'all stealing from a kid?
How you stealing from kids? Like, y'all grown stealing from kids. Like, is that for your kid? Because if that's the case, then that's karma on your fucking ass. Because that was stupid.
And if it was for your kid, you should have sent your kid down there. Just send your kid down there.
Take your kid down there. Like, come the fuck on. When Meek was giving away to y'all was mad because it was cold outside. Yeah. So it's still COVID going on. I want y'all to know that we're still in the pandemic. You still got to wear masks. We're supposed to be 6 feet. Sometimes you can't do it. Whatever. Right. And y'all mad because it's cold outside. But he's doing something for y'all. For like your kids can have multiple things right now. Your kid can get a bike if you couldn't afford it. Right. But you upset because it's cold.
And that's the sad part. Like you said with Meek could do stuff for all of it. He does stuff for the inner city kids all the time. And the sad part is when he does it, it's always somebody that comes along. Like I remember the little kid, he had got the Xbox probably a couple years ago, and not even 5 minutes after he walked away, somebody robbed him for the Xbox. See? He had to come back, like live on TV. He had to come back. He was like, somebody took my Xbox. Like, shit's crazy.
Like, I gotta get protection to walk down the street, my street, with a free gift that somebody gave me that I stood in line for to get.
Yeah,
because
when that
you
person
didn't want to
could
stand in line.
because you didn't want to stand in line, so you just gonna. No, that kid probably was traumatized.
Like, all y'all is trifling. There's no ifs, ands, or but about it. But if you, like, in all reality, in all honesty, in every neighborhood, regardless, not even Philly, it's always celebrities from different neighborhoods who grew up a certain way, and then they give back to their community, but the community is always saying there's not enough. But y'all don't go out and vote for a congressman. Y'all don't go out and vote for a senator. Y'all don't go out and vote for a state councilman. None of that. Y'all don't go out and vote for none of these motherfuckers that are actually running our city, and you want something to be done. But then you complaining about potholes. You complaining about this and like y'all complain about so fucking much, but nobody does anything. Does anything extra. Everybody just sits and watch.
And that's why the Sauds and the Meeks, and everybody else, not even just those two, they're just the two bigger names, but there's a lot of people out here in these communities doing a lot of things. Sometimes that's why this is why you could tell they have good hearts, because it's plenty of times I'm pretty sure Saud or Meek just want to say fuck it.
Right.
They want to say fuck it, like, because it's always something. Y'all always have something to say instead of just being appreciative.
Yeah, like nobody got to give you shit.
Yeah, why you got this?
Nobody in this world has to give you anything. You can provide for you. If you can provide for yourself, nobody has to give you a damn thing.
Yeah, you can't complain about a certain brand of food when you ain't got no food. Like how you complaining about that type of egg, that type of bread when these motherfuckers they got nothing. They got nothing. It's
you mad because it's not Stroman and you gotta drink, you gotta eat.
You mad about how they organized it instead of just saying appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like that's like I said. That's how you know these people got big hearts. They still do it.
Like Thanksgiving when she was out there giving out full Thanksgiving meals to make.
Yeah, like
all you needed to provide was
what
the
is
gas.
that? Like what exactly? When people say it's not, what exactly is enough? Because what's people say it's not enough. That's not enough. What is enough?
Everybody want to be taken care of. Like they got a hefty bank account. Like they got a rich uncle somewhere living on a private island who got multi-millions and just putting money into their bank account and they taking care of.
Like it's just like that.
But life isn't that. Life is not that. Life is what you gonna make out of it. And some people wind up lucky. Some people wind up, some people work very hard and they get to that point, and then some people is lazy and they don't and they complain.
It was a video. A dude. He was walking down the street, he had a petition. He was like, "Oh, you want to sign it? You want to sign for free college?" Da, 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 da. They're like, "Oh yeah, free college sounds good. Sounds good." Da, da, da. And then the next one was like, "All right, so how much out of your salary do you want to pay towards the college?" And the people looked at him like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "How much out of your salary you gonna pay for it?"
Right.
He said, "No, I thought it was free." Well, how you think it's gonna get paid for? It's gonna come out your money. Like when people say they want free shit, just remember it's coming out of somebody's salary.
It's coming out of somebody's paycheck.
Ain't shit in this world free.
Yeah.
Water ain't even free. Just think about that.
Natural resources are
natural
not
resources
free.
ain't free. So it all sounds. I'm not gonna go on a tangent, but it all sounds good. Oh, we want free this. We want the free healthcare. We want free college. We want free somewhere along the lines. Somebody's paying for this. Just know that. Just like when people wanted to, as I agree with, y'all want higher wages, and I get it. Right. I understand that. But just know, if you haven't looked around lately, it's called inflation. So you got higher wages, everybody's, money's going up, and the middle class is coming down here, so everybody's about equal right here. You know why? Because the diapers that was $9.99, they about $17 now. Listen, if you just go to the supermarket, if any of y'all go to the supermarket, or even if y'all had food stamps, y'all probably like, damn, these food stamps ain't
food stamps.
Yeah, this 800 ain't doing exactly what it used to do. That's called inflation, people. The more you make, they like, okay, just like when it's tax season. So just know y'all got that tax credit last year. Y'all had all of that money.
You're taking it back.
Y'all not getting it back this year. I'm just telling y'all that. All that money that those child dependent things and everything that I was getting, we getting free money every month. Yeah, I got this kid. Y'all got that $2-3 grand. Just know. IRS said, oh, okay, you got your tax return. So I hope y'all was smart with it.
Thank you so much for participating in that.
Yeah. I hope y'all was smart with it. Now, let me ask you this question before we get done. It says, many relationships fail because women forget their man's happiness matters too. Do you agree?
Yep, I agree. I mean, it should always be equal parts of happiness. It shouldn't just be like, well, you need to do this for me. You need to do that for me. You need to do this. You need to do that. And it's just like, he just happy with a chicken sandwich and he can watch football for 2 hours without you bothering.
Right.
Like that's his happiness. And you can't give that to him because you like, well, babe, I want to do this and I want to do that. Like, bitch, go sit down. Go do something while he's doing that. That's perfectly fine. Like you have to give, and you have to give in a relationship as much as you want to take.
Right.
Like nobody wants to be a part of something and it's not reciprocated around the whole. That's stupid. Right.
Listen, a guy doesn't want to deal with as I would call it, a nagging female all the time, especially when it comes to little shit. Especially if you got a good guy and he's working, he's taking care of the house, he's going to work, coming home, or whatever other recreational shit he doing, but he's taking care of you. Just niggas don't want to be nagged all the time about the littlest shit that they can't even control. Like the little, the little.
Say taking care.
I shouldn't say. All right, maybe I should say
change that.
I shouldn't.
Because if you're just taking care of me, I'm gonna nag you about some
not
shit.
just not just taking care of, but I'll put it this way. How would I put it? Some shit just let some shit go. Just let some shit go. How about that?
If that man is satisfying all your needs, and when I mean your needs,
don't go looking for nothing.
I mean, like he's providing for you, he protects you, he loves you, he shows you attention, he shows you affection, and all those things. He's listening to you, he's understanding you. Then I mean, some things like let it go. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. Some shit, yeah, you might have to get on his ass about, but
of course, that comes with relationships. Of course,
but I mean, some shit you can be like, you know what? It's not even that big. I don't even feel like talking about it because I know it's gonna turn into an argument.
Yeah, because the worst thing is you just catch a guy off guard. You're like, well, especially if a guy that had a long day. If a guy had a long day, he's working his ass off, and he already stressed the fuck out, and you don't even know, because niggas be stressed the fuck out, and chicks might not know. Because the niggas just trying to deal with it. That comes back to niggas not opening up, like we said before. So. But a nigga could be just stressed the fuck out, and then you just do some other shit on top of it. Nigga fuck around and explode on you, and you trying to figure out like the littlest thing.
Like nigga, all I said was you've been sitting in the house or been sitting in the house for hours. Why didn't you do the dishes? That's all I'm asking. I done came in from work too. I'm tired. But if I sit down, we will both look like lazy motherfuckers. Somebody got to do something.
And listen, when a nigga snap, a nigga gonna snap. No, fuck this. I'm tired of this shit. You be like, damn, all I did was, like you said, I just actually watched dishes. But guys, we gotta do better at opening up. It's okay to get therapy. It is okay to get therapy. Okay. Because niggas that drive themselves in a fucking circle trying to figure some shit out because we won't ask for help. Then you got the niggas that just ask for help, all of that just living off their female. They ain't gotta worry about this shit. Them niggas that live off their females don't have a fucking stress in their body. Them niggas don't be them niggas don't be stressed at all. They was like, I'm going out tonight. Like, why the fuck? Nigga, I'm trying to figure out how the fuck to pay these bills.
And you told me you going out tonight?
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Nigga, I'm cutting up all your shoes. Where you walking to? Now you can't go nowhere.
Hey man, listen, wrap this show up. Now you can't go nowhere. You take all of the right shoes, petty your shit, take all the right feet.
Like I'm taking the tongues and soles and the shoestrings out of all your shoes.
Super petty. Wrap it up when it comes to love versus survival, in your opinion.
Try to do better with your children. Try to do better with the upcoming generation. And I mean, like some of them are kind of, growing up like the last generation. But try to do better with just letting your kids know that, showing your kids love. And even if, some days you might be broke, some days you might be hungry and everything like that, and your kids might see it, don't let them feel like they have to go through life surviving instead of living.
Right.
That makes no sense. They have to learn how to live, because survival is just, I gotta get through the day, and then they're gonna look up and they have no life they live. They don't have no memories. They don't have no happy moments. They just like, I made some money. That might have okay health, but
maybe you don't.
Doubt that. You don't have no real healthy relationships, and you lonely.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you got 10 cats.
It's about living, not just surviving.
Yeah.
You gotta survive. That's a given. But you also have to live.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. Like you said, the worst thing you can do is go through life just trying to survive. I'm just trying to survive to the next day, because your life just passes you by.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, it's over.
And black men, go get you some help. You need somebody to talk to, go talk to somebody. Find somebody that you can talk to that won't judge you and that'll be honest with you. And give you
you can't always just go to your homies or as much as you want to. They probably be dealing with, sometimes niggas be dealing with shit they self, but they take on the burden of just listening to you just because they trying to be a friend to you, but they dealing with shit too. Yeah. We all out here dealing with some shit.
Everybody dealing with some shit, but just go get some help from somebody you feel comfortable talking to, and that will actually give you real advice, and not just listen. Real advice, and not just listen to you to get you out of their face. And,
listen, common sense ain't always too common, so make sure we put a lot more sense in the world. As always, these are our opinions. We appreciate the feedback. Y'all was on it this week.
Don't care.
Make sure y'all listen.
Listen to understand and comprehend the point of the message. Some of y'all are just listening because that's you only hear trigger words and you automatically going off of that. You hear a trigger word, take your trigger happy ass to your page. Understand that we are giving opinions. You have an opinion just like we do. And we just trying to help somebody, then that person might not be you. It's okay.
Listen, but if you just want to keep just coming to the page, you want
That's
to keep
perfectly
watching
fine.
and want to keep hating, that's fine too. We love it.
We love it. We love it all.
We love all the support, man. Listen,
Thank you so much.
as the more you get supporters, the more you're gonna get people that are like, nah, fuck you talking about. But long as y'all get a little bit out of it, long as y'all get a little bit out of what we talking about, we appreciate it. We definitely appreciate all the supporters because we working up there. Appreciate all the subscribers and everything. So we gonna keep making it happen. And on that note, it's the boy Vince. Holla at y'all.